93.529 million miles is the distance between Earth and a fireball of gas equal to that of 10 billion hydrogen bombs going off each second. The sun produces 44 quadrillion watts of energy to the Earth's surface every year. And you can have it all in the palm of your hand. Is it gonna focus on my face? There we go. So what's up, everybody? I hope you enjoyed that little intro. I tried to make something a little more cinematic to introduce what we're gonna be talking about today. I'm a big fan of like photo history and video history, and I want to start making a video series on this channel talking about that topic. And this video will be the first in that series. I will say you can't have the entire sun in your hand, sadly, but with today's topic, I feel like it's the closest thing you're gonna get, because this is the Sun Gun 2. So there was a predecessor, but I don't have one. I just have this one. And it's just this part. This little part is the light, that's it. This part, this is just the handle. It just has like a little spot where you can put your camera and a little hole where you can mount it on a C-stand or something like that. But everything is in this little top part. Kind of looks like an old car light, like headlight kind of thing. I have some notes that I've taken to kind of help guide this. The light it produces is a true color balance of 3400 Kelvin. At least that's what this booklet that I found online said. Finding information about this is actually, at least in my experience, has been kind of difficult, because the company Silavinia, I can't read. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can figure it out yourselves. But they don't make movie or photography lights anymore. They are more of a automobile, like home decor light now, for like your living room or motorcycles and stuff like that. But I did find a catalog for a bunch of their older products from like the 60s that included this, before they stopped making photography lights. But yeah, like I said, it's a 3400 Kelvin light, which is a warmer temperature, and we'll go and I can explain Kelvin later. But it does come with, this one specifically has a lens cover that you can put on it to make it somewhat of a 5600 Kelvin. But it's not like perfect by any means, because when you shoot it, like when it's on, there's only a select area that is now a cooler temperature, and everything around that is purple for some reason. It gives it like a violet hue. Then I'll show some examples of that, but it's pretty intense for how small it is. It gives out 640 watts of light, a lot of power. And like I said, it's just this little light here, which I think is quite impressive, given that, you see like the aperture lights that are quite large producing that much. And now we have this little guy. Now, one advantage to having a newer light is that it doesn't get as hot, because this hurts. Like, it might not actually be the sun, but it's pretty close, because I mean, even just looking at it when it's on hurts, and it will like make my eyes blurry. And it gets extremely hot. I tried to put some diffusion on it before I recorded this video, and it just burnt. It just started to set it on fire, like it started to sizzle and char, just because of how hot this gets. Something that I did find interesting, which is honestly my favorite part of this whole device, I guess you could call it, is on the back it has an exposure chart for film, and it goes through the distance of how far your subject is from the light, and what your speed is for your ISO, and what you should set your aperture to your camera on your lens for a good exposure. And it doesn't say ISO, it says ASA, and the speed of your ASA, which the speed is just like, ISO is set to 100, your speed is 10 or 100, sorry. But ASA and ISO are the same thing. I'll put a link in the description to my first camera basics video when it kind of goes over that a little bit more. But they just mean the same thing. So yeah, it's a fun, that's all really I got. I mean, it's a fun little toy that can blind you and kill your brain. But you can find these on eBay for like 10 to 20 bucks. And if for a floodlight, I really don't feel like you can get any cheaper than that. Stick it outside on a light stand or a C-stand and shine it through a window. It'll work just fine for that purpose. So if you're on like a budget, you can pick one of these up, and it's kind of cool. I don't know anybody else who's ever owned one, and when I got it, all my friends thought it was kind of insane, and it's just fun to play around with. So yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate the views, and if you are so inclined to subscribe, that would mean the world to me. I hope to make this maybe like a monthly series, maybe. So like once a month I'll have another photo history video. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah.